Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I was scheduled to do a new EDC video that I was going to do for my work carry stuff, because it's a constantly evolving collection of items that we use on a daily basis, pens and paper and all those sorts of things. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, like the work situation has of course shifted, and we're not out doing our usual sort of work situation stuff. So obviously the EDC or the everyday carry stuff that we're using at the moment is a little bit different. And so I thought what I'd do is I'd just do an update of sort of what I am using and carrying as I need it. My work situation is very much limited, with no live performance able to go ahead. A lot of what I'm doing as an opera singer is preparing for recordings and also for some like live broadcast or pre-recorded broadcasts of performances. So there's still a small amount of rehearsing going on, but like obviously at the moment I live in Melbourne and in Australia, and we have hit another lockdown period, so even that is sort of up in the air. But what I thought I'd do is I'd go through what I sort of sometimes carry on my person, what I use for those work situations when I need them. So this, I'm just going to show a couple of items and a couple of variations of things, and I'll talk about them here and show them a little bit more detail close up, and let's see how we go. So the first place I thought I'd start is what is actually on my person most of the time. Now I have an iPhone 11, which this is being filmed on, so I can't show that, but that's what I use. I have, like everybody, a set of keys. These are clumsy, and but I hook them into bags and things, and I'm able to take off a couple of items with like these little titanium brand like release latches. So like the car key can come off if I'm just traveling with that, or if I'm when I'm traveling, I can take the box cutter off and things like that. But keys, like everybody, and a mobile phone. Wallet wise, I use the Bellroy Slim Sleeve, which is a nice sort of single fold wallet, and I did a review of this recently, which I'll link to down below. Check that out. I think it's a really lovely product, made of really nice leather. It's all very thin and slim, and it actually really is standing up beautifully to sort of being used every day and thrown around into bags and that sort of stuff, into my car and everything. And it's a really lovely little wallet. If you're interested in sort of these slim wallets, check out Bellroy. I also carry a couple of pens on me. And the two main pens I carry is a sort of standard everyday writing pen and a pocket pen. At the moment, the everyday writing pen is this, which is the it's in this. This is an Ashton leather little sleeve, single pen sleeve, and at the moment it's the Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age. So I'll show this very quickly in a little bit more detail, show you what ink I'm using in at the moment, and show you what else I use, as well as this pen for this purpose. So here is the Ashton leather pen sleeve with my Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age. Ooh, just bumped my tripod. Good start. Okay. Now this pen is this is a pricey pen to carry around, in my opinion, but the thing is, it's just such a great pen and such a beautiful writer, and also it is it's quite rugged. It's got a hook and latch system, so it's easy to sort of uncap. But because it is that sort of resin lava composite material, it is quite heavy and sort of substantial, so you feel it in your pocket, you feel it's there, and when you're writing, of course, you feel it as well. And it's got lovely bronze trim, and it's a power filler, so it has a decent ink capacity but not huge. The only issue is you never know when you're going to run out of ink, which is also why I never leave the house with just this pen. And this isn't the pen I always carry around. It's just at the moment when I'm not leaving the house quite as much, and I just love using this pen. So what we have is the Visconti, Homo sapiens, and this is the Bronze Age, and a fine. Now the Bronze Age normally comes with a two-tone nib, but I got it originally in a medium. It was just too broad for everyday writing, so I got a fine, and this is the one I could get. I think it doesn't bother me that it doesn't it's not the two-tone, but one thing you will notice is that this is a very, very wet pen, which I love, and it writes beautifully and smooth. It's reliable. I've never had an issue with either of my Palladium nibs that I've had. I just think that they write beautifully and wet and smooth, and it's great. The ink here this is the Mont Blanc Beetles Psychedelic Purple, and it's, yeah, lovely sort of, I'd say it's like a mid-tone violet purple, not dark. It's not like a dark lilac or detrimentus Alexander Hamilton or anything like that. It's sort of got more violet-y tones, but I think it's a really, really great ink. So this is the pen I'm carrying at the moment, but the other pen that gets a lot of use in this respect is the Lamy 2000. Now, the Lamy 2000 is a very, very cool pen. It's not a big pen. If you look at it in comparison to the Homo sapiens, if I can get them both on screen together, there we go. It's not a big pen. It's probably closer to like a good-sized ballpoint pen. It's got a nice inlaid nib, sort of semi-hooded nib, sorry, and it's, you know, posts well. It's great in the hand. It's a classic design. Still not a particularly inexpensive pen, but a great everyday writer. And so when this isn't inked up like it is at the moment with this purpose in mind, this is what normally comes with me. And like an ink that will be in this a lot is something like Diamine Oxford Blue, or even a sort of a more black sort of ink, like even a blue black like the Diamine 1864 blue black, or even Lamy black, which I think is a really solid black ink. So in terms of everyday writing, pens that sort of travel in, you know, a pen sleeve like this in my pocket, 8 days out of 10, it is the Lamy 2000 at the moment. Because I'm not leaving the house quite as much, I decided that I'm going to have some fun with it, and I'm using my Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age. The second pen I generally carry is a pocket pen. Normally, it's this, which is the Sean Design Pocket 6, a lovely little, you know, metal pen with a good number 6 size nib. Once again, reviewed this, check that out. But at the moment, I'm carrying something just a little bit different. I'm carrying the Kaweco Sport. This is the Fox version. I've never really been a fan of the Kaweco Sport, but this has a double broad nib on it. Once again, I'll show this in more detail close up and show the ink that's in there. But it's a really nice, easy use, sort of little lightweight pen. And because it's plastic, it doesn't sort of bang around too much in your pocket and things like that. So I'll show that and a couple more options for pocket pens right here. So this is the Kaweco Sport. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the model. This is the Fox finish. It's sort of this orangey, sort of red-orange sort of color. It's a good-sized pen in the hand. When it's posted everything, it works nicely. It's a small pen and it's light, so it fits in the, you know, in your pocket very, very well. It's sort of rugged enough. It's got, the plastic doesn't feel brittle, and you can eyedropper the pen. I use it with a little converter, which is very handy. You can use cartridges and that sort of stuff. It's just a really handy little pen. This isn't always the pen I carry for this purpose. In fact, I don't generally use the Kaweco Sports. As I said just before, is I normally use this, which is the Sean Design Pocket 6. Great little pocket pen. But 3 other options of pens that actually fit this purpose really, really well is if you can handle a slightly smaller pen, again, the Kaweco Lilliput. Comes in at many different finishes, including a lovely copper version. Or this, the Milim Pro, brass pocket pen. It's got a really nice Schmidt nib on it. Actually, that's a really very nice Schmidt nib. It's always written beautifully. Very, you know, nice small pen, fits nice in the hand, got good weight, has a converter, all of those sorts of things. So really super handy. Well, the other one, of course, is the Travelers Company brass pocket fountain pen, which in a similar way, it sort of, you know, becomes a good length pen when it's posted, and the brass patinas beautifully. So those are other options that I would use, but at the moment I'm using this Kaweco Sport. And I couldn't not match it with an ink that fits it nicely. So what we have here is the Kaweco Sport, and this is the Fox. And this is just a plain steel, double broad nib. Not super broad for a double broad. Like, it's certainly broad, but in comparison to even the fine nib there from Visconti, it's not like excessively broad. Just a nice sort of everyday sort of smooth. It's fairly wet. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, a gusher, but it does lay down a nice amount of ink. And this ink is, once again, another Mont Blanc. It is the Mont Blanc Le Petit Prince, Little Prince, Red Fox. So I thought Red Fox ink in the Fox Kaweco Sport, nice little match. Yes, at the moment, this is what I'm using it in my pocket. This will carry, you know, be with me, you know, most of the time I'm out of the house. So 2 items that I occasionally carry, rarely but occasionally, depending on work situation and what I need, are a knife and a torch. So the torch I have is the Olight, it's an i3E EOS, tiny little torch, sort of nice and bright though. It's got a AAA battery, which means that you're not reliant on it being charged, like having to charge it up. Anywhere you can get AAA batteries, you can have this torch on you. The other thing I sometimes carry is a knife as a tool, like simply as a tool. Not for self-defense or anything like that. That's not what this is for. So this is the steel wheel cut jack. It's a really lovely knife. It's got a D2 steel blade, so it holds the point well, and it's easily operated. It's a good size blade, so it can be used for multiple purposes. I use it anything from opening up boxes to breaking down boxes to like cutting cable ties and things, which I use for some sort of recording projects and stuff for work. So this is what I carry sometimes, but you know, particularly these 2 items are only occasional. So now we get onto the work and organization side of things, and this is a slightly more complex issue at the moment. I've got a couple of things I use a lot. I use the Galen Leather A5 zippered folio. In here, I have a Rhodia A5 pad, which I take my notes on for project to project. I can then hole punch those and I'll put them into a binder to store them and to sort of, organize them into projects. I like taking notes by hand, and I find this is a really beautiful product. It's rugged, it's got a lovely feel, it's well made, it's got a great zip. You know, it's a really, really, really great product, and you'll see I love my Galen Leather products, and this one is no exception to that. Galen Leather there on the back, but it's a nice, very easy, sort of a thing to pack into a bag, and stops me having to carry around a whole lot of notebooks. This organizational system, I was using a different notebook for each project. Just having a pad and actually being able to file them sort of helps with that in terms of like keeping notes sort of longer term. The other product I use for this purpose is the Lockby Field Journal. In here I have 2 notebooks. I have a Galen Leather A5 everyday notebook, which is Tombow River paper, and then the Elia Note notebook. Now these are used for sort of both personal use and for sort of pen things like pen ink swatches and that sort of stuff. This is really great because it's also a very rugged item. This waxed canvas is nice and strong, but it allows a sort of a pretty decent size notebook. And so if I'm wanting to get away and do some journaling or whatever the case may be, this is a nice way of sort of being able to have that stuff with you. And if you're not needing something like a leather zippered folio, something like the Lockby Field Journal is a really, really great option in the same realm. Now Lockby also have a product called the Pocket Journal, which is a field note size note book cover made similar like to the Field Journal there, with the wax canvas and everything. Really great product. And when I'm carrying a bag, that is something that I will carry if I don't need a big notebook, because I can put a small notebook in there and have everything I need. But if I'm not carrying a bag, something I often do is I have this is my Hobonichi Tetro cover. This is from Galen Leather once again. Really, really beautiful leather cover. And in the back, if I open up the elastic, in the back, in the inside here, is this extra elastic. I sometimes just tuck a pocket notebook in there. This is for shopping lists, for taking quick notes, all that sort of thing. This is a Pebble stationery coat. I've been using these for a while. I think they're great. Once again, Tonga River, made in Australia, or Australian brand, and they are really resistant and stand up because they're not staple, they're sewn, which is really cool. But that lives in the back of my Hobonichi a lot of the time, and I use at the moment the Avec, which saves 6 months per book, and I have a TWSBI Eco here with Noodler's Eternity ink in it, and business cards and things like that. So this allows me to do my organizing. It allows me to sort of make appointments, and I teach online at the moment. I'm teaching singing online. So, constantly sort of shifting students around, and, new students and those sorts of things allows me to keep sort of up to date with all of that, as well as the odd rehearsal or recording project which I'm involved in. But yes, this Galen leather cover is beautiful. It's going to get a review soon. I did an unboxing of it, but the review will be in a little while. It's beautifully made. It's rugged. I think this is a really great cover. It's bulky though. It is a big cover, having a lot of, you can see that it's sort of got this double leather. But it's really, really worth having if this is something that if you want to protect your Hobonichi, and this will last for years and years and years. The first thing that will go will be this elastic, and that's not a huge. You could easily get another strap put on it. It's a beautiful product that will last you a lifetime. So the last item that comes with me most places is a pencil case. And once again, another Galen leather product. Now I was carrying the Galen leather student pen case for a while, but what that meant was that you couldn't carry a whole lot in there, and certainly not space for fountain pens. And so this is a really good option, because this is a pencil case that has a sleeve here that you can take out, which has space for 4 fountain pens on it. So at the moment I've got a TWSBI Go, a Leonardo, a Momento Zero, I've got the Fine Writing International, a 3rd generation brass, and a Lamy 2000. Slimmer pens won't fit in this, but sort of standard size pens like this fit really well. And then there's still room for, I've got a Muji fountain pen, which is what I do my art with, sketching and stuff. Pilot Frictions and Apple, let's see if I can get you a bit of an angle in there, just to show sort of how much it actually still fits, as well as the fountain pen thing. I've got quite a range of pens and highlighters and pencils and things like that, stuff that I use for my work situation, as well as an eraser sharpener from Faber-Castell. Very simple student one, but it contains everything. The rubbers, the erasers covered, and the shavings stay in there, so it's handy. This is one of the crazy horse leather finishes from Galen Leather, and I just think this product is it's really good. Oh, the other thing I love about this pencil case is that this sleeve here is the same as the sleeve that comes in the A5 zippered folio. So if I open this up, you can see here is a similar sleeve, 4-pen sleeve, and so this one here can easily be dropped into place there, and vice versa. So if you've got the 4 pens, you just want to carry this around, just take it out and drop it through. It's really nice that they're sort of compatible, and so I can carry my pens around, take it from pencil case into the folio, and away we go. So that is what I carry. That is what comes with me most days, things like that, or some variation on all of this. It's rare that I carry tools or a multi-tool or anything like that, and I try to keep my pockets as light as possible. I have a lot of stuff I carry in my bag at the moment. There's things like hand sanitizers and masks and gloves and those sorts of things that are necessary. I'm also a type 1 diabetic, so in my backpack when I'm traveling I have insulin and I have glucose and all of those sorts of things, as well as the standard Panadol or paracetamol and that sort of thing, which is handy to have. But in terms of this sort of everyday carry stuff that I will take if I'm going to a little rehearsal or a recording, or if I'm having a meeting, or if I'm just trying to escape, or whatever the case may be, this is the sort of stuff that I'm carrying when I'm allowed to leave the house. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here or drop me an email, which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, EDC style products or pocket organizers, that's something I'm looking into, some sort of pocket organizers for some of this smaller stuff that I carry. Let me know what you use, or if you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy your writing, and I'll talk to you soon.